Alright, I'm Mr. Marshall, and I'm going to start with problem 25. Problem 25 has two buckets, bucket. They're connected by a cord, and they're pulled upward with a cord. The fact that they are accelerating means there is a net force. The masses are the same, which should come in handy a little bit. We'll start with a free body diagram for the top bucket. Now, the top bucket definitely has a rope pulling it up, tension. It also has the force of gravity acting on it. On top of the force of gravity, there is tension in the rope because the bottom bucket is also being pulled down. So that's the top bucket. The bottom bucket's free body diagram also has a tension force pulling up, and it has the force of gravity pulling down. So here we go. We'll start to write out our sum force equation. So it's going to look like this. This is some of the forces on, I'll call this guy mass 1 and this guy mass 2. Some of the forces on mass 1. So we've got tension and we've got gravity. Gravity is going to be our mass times a negative 9.8, turning this negative. Tension, we don't know, but we do know that the mass is going to be pulled up with an acceleration of 1.6 meters per second per second. We do know that mass is 3.2. We can plug that in and we can solve for tension on that bottom rope. Tension on mass 1. Now, that all pertains to this mass right here. The second mass, we'll do another equation for it. Yoink. No. Yoink. No. Yoink. No. Alright, fine. So we'll write up the sum of our forces on mass 2. And now what we've got, and again, we drew them out here, so we don't have to try too hard to look. We have tension pulling up, and we have force of gravity pulling down, and we have the other tension that's pulling down that we solved for right here. So we've solved for the first tension force, which we can plug in. Mass times 9.8 we can do. Up here, this one, mass times our acceleration to get our net force over here. This time you are accelerating both buckets. So what we're going to look at up here is both masses are going to accelerate at 1.6. It's going to be that tension that we still don't know. The force of gravity is just the force of gravity on the top box. And finally we have the force of tension from mass 1, which we already solved for. Okay, again, masses we know, so we're just plugging in masses, and you should be able to get the tension on the second chord here, because that's our only variable. Alright, good luck.